Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Virgo in September 2020. What's going on, Virgo? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, friends, right off the bat, happy birthday to you September Virgos and the August Virgos as well. Hopefully, no matter what day your special day falls on, you had an amazing time spent with friends, family, those that you know and love. If you were able to celebrate. If you're not able to celebrate, I'm still wishing you guys well, and hopefully your solar return is a good one, okay? Other than that, Virgo, I hope you're happy, safe, and healthy in general where you are in the world at this time. Continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, all right? All right, guys, let's just get into it. Or excuse me, no, I have announcements for you guys because it is your birthday season. So for those who are unaware, you do have a playlist here on my channel. I do it by zodiac sign. So if you're looking for your birthday message, which I recorded like about a week ago or something like that, that's in your playlist. Go ahead and check that out. Virgo, I will be going live for you guys on September 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to come to the channel, join me live, and I will answer your tarot questions here for you on the channel, if you have any. If you just want to come and hang out and you don't actually want a reading, that's also cool. So again, that will be on September the 12th at 7 p.m., okay? And then, of course, I also will be back in about 2 weeks probably after, it'll be after the live with your mid-September reading. So got a few things to look forward to in this month, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into the regular spiel. Everything you want from me, Virgo, it's already in the description box. Timestamp is down there. Information on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. If you have a question before you place an order for a personal, just go ahead and email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. The link for the Instagram is down there, EmpathicFire Tarot. If you want to see me do this work with oracle cards, that's what I'm doing over there on Instagram. Also do some pick-a cards every once in a while, so if you want to join me on that journey, feel free to drop me a follow over there as well, okay? Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video if you like the vibe here. If you want to get in and show your support in those kinds of ways, please feel free. Also, someone reached out and asked me about donations, so I'm telling everybody in all the videos, if you're interested in doing a donation, I think it would be best to use the PayPal or the Cash App link that's down in the description box. I don't go live often enough to really make use of the super chat feature that YouTube has. So if you want to do a donation, I would suggest using either the PayPal or the Cash App link, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Virgo's outcome for September. I would like to see it, please. Virgo's outcome for September 2020, please show me. Oh, there it goes. Oh, no. Oh, no. But we don't know. Maybe it's okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. That really, like, bang. It hit me hard. For those that are aware of what that is, just by the artwork, you might feel the same way. Let's flip everything else that came out. And, oh, my God. What is going on? You have a heavy reading. I can feel it already. Virgo, what is this? No. I don't know who I'm channeling, but there's a lot of no. There's a lot of like, no, like those like parts in the movies where someone screams, no, it's like that. Oh my gosh, let's, okay, let's get into it. Please show me where Virgo is in September 2020. Virgo in September 2020, please show me. All right, okay. Virgo, coming into September, you come in with the energy of the Seven of Swords. Okay, so in the darkness of night, or under the dark light of the moon, something like that. In the dark, in the shadows, secrecy, sneaky. Oh, what's going on? Who is this? What is this? This could be you, Virgo, or this could be someone that you're dealing with. But there's a sneaky, suspicious, underhanded, not all there, like not all known, rather, quality in this energy. You embody this, or someone else embodies this, or this is shared energy between you and other people. I'm not quite sure yet, but it's not cool. Let me tell you that. It's not cool. It's not, it's a fantasy. They're telling me this is a fantasy. This is an illusion. This is what do you call that? Sleight of hand. This is a trick. Wow, what's going on? In some of your cases, you're dealing with this in a long-standing capacity, meaning it's been going on for a while. Others of you, this is like coming up pretty quickly in a situation, and you don't expect it, or you're doing this and someone else doesn't expect it. But there's motion here. There's moving parts here, and someone didn't expect the things to go this route, even though to another person or another side of the situation, this is sort of going to plan. This could be based in a competitive arena in your life, so maybe like a job situation. There could be, certain deals made behind someone else's back, or there might be certain trades or certain agreements that nobody is privy to except two people out of a group of like 50. Who the hell knows? What is most striking is that, this woman who's holding on to the majority of the swords and peeking around the corner, and then you've got those two shadowy figures, I'm assuming, pursuing her. This is like, I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get caught. But there are some swords on the stairs there, so there's like traces. There's like clues. Not purposely being left behind, but they're there. And once those two figures come up the stairs further, they're going to see those swords unless she goes back and gathers them up and then runs away with them. So it's like maybe this is like a cat and mouse thing. Maybe this is, again, illusions or some type of game playing, some type of competitive thing going on. It's not fun. That's the big takeaway. It's not fun because either you or whoever you're dealing with, there is this expectation that is not being met. There is this a false belief in something. Someone was basically sold a fantasy, sold an illusion, told that it's going to be this is what you can expect, this is how this whole situation is going to shake out, and it's proving not to be that way. There could be, on its face, or excuse me, more traditional interpretations of the Seven of Swords do include lying and deception. And that applies for a good amount of you. It's not for everybody, but for a good amount of you, that is true. There have been purposeful lies and deception, but that's not for everybody. They want me to, that is not for everybody. and I don't know why I have to highlight that, because I think most of you, regardless of whatever your specifics are, you would read it as, well, it was a lie. Whether they intended to do it or not, whether they intended, the intention doesn't matter to you. But in some of your cases, this was not intentional lying. This was, what it feels like? It feels like a reneging. It feels like at some point you were in agreement with another person, a partner in business, a partner in your personal life, whatever it is. You and someone at some point, Virgo, before now, were on the same page, or you are still, or at least you believe you are, but you or the other person no longer are on that same page, but you're pretending that you are. Someone is pretending to be on that same page, and they don't want to get caught not being on that same page. They haven't been on that page for a while, gotta be honest. They have not been on that page for a minute. Y'all have not actually been in agreement for a minute, but someone has falsified themselves. Specifically using the word falsified. Some have falsified documents, because swords can talk about communication, so official documents have been altered. Possibly someone is falsifying statements, making false claims, something like that. This is bullshit. I'd like to move on because that's a lot. There's so much in that. I don't like that. Moving on, please. What happens next for Virgo? Please show me. Oh boy. I don't like this at all. This is complicated. it's complicated because I feel what you thought was straight up honest. And I'm saying you, Virgo, this is a general. It can be flipped. Okay? Please keep that in mind. So, hello cross watchers who are looking in on Virgos. This could be you I'm talking to. But I'm going to still address it as if this is happening to Virgo. But if you know it's the opposite way, go ahead and take it to the bank. Somebody here. It's so much. There has been involvement with X amount of people or X specific person, either X amount of people or a specific person that has been detrimental to the agreement. And I keep saying the word agreement because I don't think this is about partnership in the sense of, how can I say it? It still feels about partnership or two sides coming to some type of, like I said, agreement. But it's not intertwined. There it is. Okay. So in the way I think many of us interpret partnership, it's like this, intertwining, joining forces like this, becoming enraptured in each other's business, or being involved, or sharing resources, sharing ideas, or sharing experiences, right? Coming into union like that. Different ways we can conceive of partnerships as being like that. What I'm sensing is an agreement like this. Meet me here. We don't necessarily intertwine. We come together. We recognize where, my contributions start and end, and where your contributions start and end, and we meet in the middle, but we don't necessarily intertwined. Now, what's the difference, or why is this happening? Let me see. It could be someone had the impression that they were doing the intertwine thing, the mixing of energies, the overlapping of involvement. Someone else's perspective is, no, we're just like this. We're just meeting up together like this. We're not actually going to, cross into each other's so-called spaces, right? I don't know what that means to you. I don't know what type of energy or connection I'm talking about, relationships I'm talking about. I feel in some cases this is family, in other cases this is friendship, and it's weird. It's super weird for friends, for many of you. If this is about romantic entanglements, that is also fucking weird. And I'm also feeling business, and the business is actually feeling more shady than weird. Because, with business, it's supposed to be, on its face. You're supposed, in all relationships, you're supposed to be honest, right? But the business one is like extra shady. Like, oh, I don't like this at all. Lord have mercy. So, to finally get to the answer of my question, what happens next for Virgo? Oh my God. Yes, thank you. You finally got it. I was like, which one? Give me one. The Three of Wands. So here we have, I love this deck, because this woman in this dress, she could be the same woman here, here, here. Maybe even there. I can't tell because there's no dress. Or here too. She could be in all these freaking pictures, all these illustrations, right? So what I'm sensing is there's a person, regardless of gender, but I'm going to address it as the female on these cards probably. So this woman here is in the Seven of Swords. Is supposed to be doing something, is supposed to be somewhere in an agreed place with agreed effort, resources. Excuse me, dedication, whatever. Is supposed to be in this open book, let's keep it 100 type of energy. But like I said, what I was saying about partnerships, the intertwined thing, I think there's an expectation of someone that they were supposed to be intertwined, or that they are still intertwined, or at least like this. Not the case. Not the case. There is not an intertwining. Here, it's going to go two ways. Either someone's expecting the intertwine and it's actually this. It's actually just this meeting up to, sort of like a central point, and there's no overextension. There's no going past a certain limit, right? That's the one misconception or misperception in the situation. Misunderstanding, perhaps. Or, in this case, deliberate like someone deliberately is playing it like it's this, but they're behaving like this. They're saying this is what I want, but I'm actually going to show up like this. Does that make sense? The other way is saying intertwined, but actually far apart. Because I feel in this energy, it's up there. That's why. Someone is meant to be in some type of agreement, some type of partnership, some type of understanding. But inside or behind closed doors, under the cover of darkness, they're doing something else. And that Three of Wands is showing to me in this deck an escape act. Self-preservation. Now, I normally am down with self-preservation. And for now, I'm kind of feeling like this is what this person is supposed to do. However, it don't feel good. Energetically, what I feel is this person, whoever they may be, you, someone else, I don't know, is a little bit panicked. She doesn't look like she's, going downstairs for a midnight snack and she's, looking to, take it back upstairs and veg out in front of Netflix again. This looks like somebody who's like trying to get out of wherever she is with this candle. Well, is that a candelabra? Candlestick holder? Whatever. I feel like after the whole house has gone to bed, all the servants are in their servants' quarters, this lady of the house lights these candles, for some reason puts on this fucking gown, and is trying to make an escape. And based on, what I've studied of the artwork of this deck, that's essentially the journey that this woman in this dress is taking. She's running out of look, I'm not, god damn. So, it could, and that makes sense. If this is a business agreement, it's like someone is reneging on the contract. You agreed to do blah, blah, blah. This person is not doing blah, blah, blah based on the contractual agreement. So they are acting in their own interest, their own self-interest, protecting themselves. I feel that this is a protective move for the person, for the individual, whoever it is, you or whoever it is. I don't know. But what is legally binding is not happening. They're in violation of a contract. That's the shady, shisty part of the business side. It could be the same amongst friends, whether you have legal agreements or not. Okay, there we go. There's something I could finally talk to. If you have an agreement amongst people, like roommates, we all pitch in and we pay for the fucking rent around here. We all pitch in and we pay for these damn utilities. This person missing the rent. This person possibly in secrecy is planning to leave. That came up in somebody else's reading. Was it Taurus? Could have been Taurus. No, I can't remember. It happened in a previous reading. But I feel that on, in this person, in conversation with this person, in general public spaces, this person is like, oh yeah, I agree. We're on the same page. What is really going on is not the case. There's an escape act happening. And in some of your cases, it's happening right under your nose, or you're doing this under somebody's nose. And it's not good in the sense of, I think the secrecy, the sneaking about for the sake of self-interest feels validated, feels correct. Whether or not you could have, whatever is the goal, I feel someone thinks they can't do it by talking about it. They can't do it by being honest about it. They have to do it in an underhanded way. And I don't know. That's interesting because I just did Leo's reading, and it's they're like call a distinction, because in Leo's reading And I know you have the Strength card there. I saw it earlier. So Leo might factor in here for some of you. In their reading, there was this thing of secrecy because maybe it's the same. But here it feels darker. It feels more panicked. It feels more, again, shisty or shady. In Leo's reading, it didn't feel very shady. It felt practical. It felt based on what happened previous to this point. It makes sense to not express or expose your plans. Here, it's like if you express the plans, it might be better. Strange. I don't know the details, but it's very strange. And I think, maybe that's the difference, because that didn't come up in Leo's reading. And I hate to keep mentioning other readings, because I usually don't like to, sort of kind of cross promote unless it's like very apparent. But in that particular reading, there wasn't this agreeing. There wasn't this continual act of saying, I'm going to do this. I promise. Yes, we're on the same page. Yes, we're here. We see each other. We agree. That's what's happening here. Someone is saying they agree when they don't. So the Three of Wands, seeking something for the self, making moves that serve the self and open up doors. Like, again, she's running down this staircase, presumably to leave this big mansion, right? So literally, to leave a mansion, you got to open the big doors and go out to the front of the house or go out to the grounds or wherever, right? So going from an enclosed space that has a limitation of square footage out to the world at large, which, has square footage, but it's, a lot more ground to cover, so to speak, or a lot more places you can go. So somebody's looking to have more when maybe the agreement is to not have that. I hope that makes sense. Now, what else is happening? Why is this even further complicated? Let me tell you, here it comes. Three of Pentacles. Lord. So. Oh, okay. I can see that. Here we go. Now, for some of you, or I'm going to say this, and the caveat is not really going to happen. Some of you, this is third-party situation. You've got 3 threes surrounding this 7 of deception, or this 7 of something, whatever the 7 is representing. It's not fun energy. It's very shady. Okay. And so with the 2 threes coming out, I definitely feel third-party situation. Now, the caveat that I normally say is, and I'm going to stick with it. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. But I don't jump, like if there was 1 3 here, I'm not going to say, oh my God, third parties. It's got to be in the energy. And for many of you, this is a third-party situation. Now, the other caveat that I say, other than I don't normally say third-party situation, is it does not have to be romantic. Again, many of you, this is a business deal. This is a business deal. This is an agreement between, 2 companies or 2 providers or two vendors, or a vendor-client relationship. And there's another interloping business, another interloping entrepreneur or CEO or something like that, right? Another thing that I'm getting, because this looks like, again, the lady in the white dress, she's in every freaking card practically in this deck, or she's in many of the cards. She's not in every card, but she's in many, is lying on the ground, looking distressed, looking like she's in need of help. And then you've got these 2 people who are like, we'll help you. What do you need? Let's help this woman. Let's help this poor woman out. So I feel in some of your cases, the third party situation is about some type of fixation, obsession, or addiction. There is someone who might be struggling in their health, because Pentacles for me can talk to health, and health is not just your physical body, it could also be your mental body. Did I say that? No, I said that in I think I said that in Leo's reading, or was it in Cancer's reading? That emotional distress can lead to physical disease, not disease, but dis-ease, right? And that could be what's happening here. You could have someone who's going through something that is internal turmoil or feeling panicked in a situation, possibly suffering from anxiety, possibly having panic attacks. And that leaves them in sort of like this, disheveled physical state. And you've got people interjecting. So a counselor. Now, how could a third party situation come from a counselor? Because it literally would be a third party. If this is about a family or friendship relationship and you've had, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not pointing fingers or anything like that, but you could have a relative or a friend of yours or someone close to you having a nervous breakdown. And so to get this person help, you might seek outside counsel. That introduces third party energy. So I want people to, when they come to my channel, understand that third party is not always a salacious, marital affair or something like that. It could be, in some of your cases, they're letting me know that is possible for some of you. But in other cases, it's not like that. And what was I saying? So obsession, fixation, and addiction. So if this is somebody who is agreeing, let's say, to stay clean, right? We could see it that way. What's the agreement? What's the agreement that we come to? If you're going to live here, if you're going to stay here, if you're going to be a part of the family, if you're going to be part of the business, whatever it is, you got to stay off the sauce. You got to stay off the drugs, right? Somebody says, okay, I agree with that. I meet you here. Maybe even they agree to entangle. Whatever their agreement, whatever they say, that's not the case. They have been sneakily getting high. I mean, that's kind of the role of many addicts. And it's not I don't want my tone to be misconstrued. I'm not like over here going, well, duh, of course this is what's going to happen. I do have sympathy. I have so much sympathy for people that deal with addiction. I totally do. I could give you personal stories, but I'm not. Anyway, but what I'm sensing in this is on the face, or in these conversations, in these quiet moments, in these interpersonal moments, these intimate moments with this person that that you care about, or you are doing this, Virgo. Again, it could be you. There's this, of course, I'm clean. I'm going to stay clean because I know the family needs me. I know the business needs me. I know it's good for my personal health. However, what's going on? Not the case. Or if not, lying about still being involved with or still giving into the addiction, struggling to stay away from it. I sense more struggle in this Three of Pentacles than I would normally sense in the Three of Pentacles. And that is because it comes out with the Three of Wands and the Seven of Swords. On its own, the Three of Wands can be very helpful or can indicate people being dedicated to a cause, dedicated to a mutual cause. But because of everything else that's going on energetically, this is actually a disturbed energy. It's not actually as copacetic as it's meant to be, as you would hope it to be. And again, I get the sense that someone here has made claims that are not true. Yes, I'm doing this. That was false. Yes, I'm going to do that. That's not true. I agree that this should happen. No, they don't. They're making moves to do the opposite or do something different. And I might be channeling yours or someone else's frustration with this. But again, when I held the Three of Wands and a little bit when I had the Three of Pentacles, whoever is doing the falseness or presenting the shady, shisty behavior or the sneaky behavior, they feel they're doing what's best for them. Or if it's about addiction, they feel they're doing what they are naturally inclined to do. They cannot help it. Right? Wow. Star card. Star card. So this situation, Virgo, no matter who, everybody involved, let's say it that way, everybody involved could use with a little bit of healing. Could use with a little bit of an intervention from the sky above, from the stars above, from whatever you believe in or don't believe in. I sense there's something here about challenges to faith, challenges to unconditional love. That's interesting. I don't usually mention that in my readings, especially public readings. In private ones, yes. But in public readings, I rarely mention unconditional love because I think it's something, it's possible, but it's hard to get there. Anyway, there's a challenge here. Yes, That makes sense. That makes sense. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that. It's a challenge to unconditional love, or there's something about that prospect of unconditional love in this situation, because I feel, I don't know what the friends, family, business, lovers, I don't care. At some point there was this understanding in this situation that I will do for you. I will always do for you. Parent to child, brother to sister, sister to sister, whatever it is, best friend to best friend, again, co-founder of whatever corporation to co-founder. I'm always going to be there and support you. And I'm always going to have your back. I will never betray you. And then there's this introduction at some point in that storyline and at some point on that timeline that there was a betrayal, or there was a letdown, there was a disappointment, there was a challenge to that declaration of unconditional love, or the other way. Or the other way was oh God, this is interesting. Or another way that I'm sensing is, pick this up, thank you. Somebody was seeking unconditional love, but could not get it because of agreements, because of earning, something about earning. It wasn't innate. It wasn't offered naturally. So that's going to play, in two ways and maybe even more. But that's kind of how I feel that star energy. And thinking about that, possibly in a counseling session, possibly in group or family therapy, or on your own, it would be helpful. But I'm not sure that you or someone else is actually in that mindset right now. What I am seeing more based on the visual is desperation. Because what do we see? Again, the woman in the dress. If she's been in all these cards, she's a busy bee. She gets around. She's sad and dejected here, in need of help here in the Three of Pentacles. She's shisty and running away from something here in the Seven of Swords, being underhanded or trying to keep a secret, trying to move in the shadows so that nobody can suspect. And then in this one, she's running away or needing to escape something. And then here, submerged or gone into a lake or, a pond or something like that, and is having some type of release, seeking some type of enlightenment, some, miracle, praying for a miracle possibly. This is mess. And not in a way like it's mess as in I'm dismissing it. It's mess as in this is complicated and complex. And it's very volatile and sensitive. You might be dealing with a hypersensitive person or someone who has emotional instabilities that make them that cause them to act in overly sensitive ways. This came up in Leo's reading. I'll touch on it a little bit. I feel, going back to this idea of unconditional versus conditional, or unconditional love, or something that was presented as unconditional love when in fact it was conditional. I get the sense that this person in the dress, it doesn't have to be a woman, by the way. It can be a male. It doesn't have to be a woman of age. It could be, someone who's younger. I don't know the specifics. But whoever's in the white dress, this act of this action in the Three of Wands and the Seven of Swords and the Three of Pentacles all equal someone who's craving something that they don't have. So why do I say that? Again, with the conditional versus unconditional love. I feel that someone was promised unconditional love but experienced conditional love. Someone is praying for or has always hoped or wished for, not hoped, wished for, because also the star can talk about wishes, wished for unconditional love but was experiencing conditional love. In Leo's reading, it was very specific on material things. I don't sense that here. Not really. But, if you feel compelled to watch that reading, go ahead and watch it. But anyway, something like that is also here, right? Where I feel, that's where it's coming from. They're like, it is here. It is here. It's here because what did I say about this Three of Wands? How it looks like she's coming down this master staircase in like a huge mansion. Why do, not, no offense to anybody, but you got to be rich to live in a mansion, right? Presumably so, right? So there is this idea of like physical material trappings and that being some type of barrier. That being, because this is also like this, presumably this could be the outside of the big house, the big mansion, right? Like most people don't live in castles or mansions. Most people just live in a, normal regular sized home, right? So there is this sense that maybe somebody is surrounded by grand, I don't want to stereotype, but I see it a lot, or I've heard of these stories a lot, where people grow up with all their material wants provided for, but that nurturing, that connection, that love, that bond with other people on an emotional level is not there. And in its place is this conditioning of being taken care of in the physical, and that being an expression of love. And I gotta tell you, that's not always true. Or at least it's not the only way to express love. But I feel maybe somebody had that experience. When they needed a hug, they got money thrown in their face. When they needed someone to listen to them, they were gifted something instead of being heard. Something like that. And so now we have this disheveled, dare I say, broken, because look at the cathedral on the Three of Pentacles. This is meant to be a church or some type of cathedral. It's a little bit in ruins. It's a little bit of a work in progress. So there's like a broken down element to a person or to a situation. There's strain and stress and deterioration, possibly over a long period of time. Let's move on because this is going so many ways. What else happens for Virgo? Please show me. Okay. So Virgo, somebody here in their act of desperation, while maintaining some sense of secrecy or sneaky snake behavior, okay? They, again, I said that they feel justified. Their energy feels this way. Whether you or anyone else believes that, whether you or anyone else, or if this is you, whether anybody accepts that from you or believes your story, believes your motivations, that I'm not here for it. What I'm sensing is somebody has done the sneaky snake stuff because they feel so trapped. Eight of Swords. Now, the difficulty with the Eight of Swords. Now, this Eight of Swords is a little bit different because those ropes look pretty snug. However, traditionally speaking, I'm going to speak to the traditional interpretation of this card. We might talk about this artwork because it's a little different. The traditional interpretation of the Eight of Swords is limiting self-belief, or this idea of being trapped and being stuck in situations when that's not your reality. Because if you look at the traditional Rider-Waite illustration, the ropes or the cloth around the woman is very loose. The blindfold around her is very, very loose, very, very loose, and the swords are fairly spaced apart. Here it's not like that. So while I still maintain that the traditional understanding of the Eight of Swords is here, I think that this confined feeling is all the more real, or all the more elevated. It's more serious. It's more pressing, or, like I said, these ropes are tighter. They don't look super loose. They look kind of tight, right? They're pretty snug up on her hips and her rib cage and all that kind of stuff, right? Versus the very loose fabric in the traditional depictions of this card. So could be that. Could be no one would understand. They're bringing that out. Nobody would understand. Nobody would understand. Nobody would believe. Nobody would see. Oh, man. Okay, that's interesting. This is interesting. This is a sidebar. A little bit of a sidebar here, okay? And I'm going to talk about people who are not Virgos. They're not Leos. So I'm talking about, I recently had a conversation with a friend, who has another friend. And based on things in that friend's life, my friend was like, I don't understand what the struggle is. There's no struggle. And I pointed out to my friend, there very well could be a struggle, but from where you're standing, your life perspective, your life experience, you won't see their struggle because it's not, you had a totally different path than this other person that you're talking about, that you're kind of like not understanding, right? And it, strangely enough, no Virgos here or no Leos in this story, but that person was lamenting over financial woes. Like, how is this person experiencing financial woes? I don't see that. Just because they have blah, and I said this, just because they have blah 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 XYZ in their life doesn't mean that they're not having trouble. So there's something here about other people are not seeing someone's struggle the same way the subjective person sees it. This is about two different perspectives, which again still talks about the traditional understanding of this card. So that little sidebar, without giving details, because I'm not trying to tell people's business out here, kind of, again, there's no Virgo in that storyline that I'm talking about. So, but it feels kind of fitting here because from one person's perspective, there's no reason to be in distress. There's no reason to have this panic. There's no reason to be running away. There's no reason to renege. There's no reason. Somebody else is like, I have all the reasons. I have all of the motivation and the desire. I cannot, you know what I mean? From where I stand, this is not working. From where I stand, this is painful. From where I stand, this is restrictive. This is hurtful to me. This limits me, or this keeps me pinned, keeps me tied and bound to something. And somebody's like, you're not tied and bound. Or it's not that bad. It's more like it's not that bad. Virgo, what the hell is this? I don't even know where you are. I've lost you in this plot line. So I hope you've been able to keep track of your position at least. I mean, it's your life. You should know. But whoever is, again, getting out of this intertwined partnership, and even though they're saying they're in it, they're actually not in it. They feel justified because they don't see any other way. 8 of Swords. Don't see, can't see, blindfolded. And with the moon surrounding that woman's head, lots of emotional confusion, lots of emotional upheaval or distress, dis-ease. Now, interesting. Strength, final card in the main spread. Major Arcana for Leo. I mentioned that earlier, so some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. I think if this is an outside person, again, they don't have to be a Leo. This could be a very helpful person in the situation. Why am I struggling to say this? Okay. It's many things. It's many things. So if this is an outside person, because of what surrounds it, there could be a wish, a hope, a desire to work with this person. Because this strength card, if I'm honest, just on it, based on its name, or not just based on its name, but the name notwithstanding is what I meant to say. This is a very strong energy, a very powerful energy. If it's an outside person, they're super powerful. Or they could be in the story. That's how they're, oh my God. Virgo, this is a lot. I want to get through this. Come on, let's clear this up, because they're giving me like 3 or 4 different ways to interpret this, and we can't do that. So in some cases, this is the wish. I hope for a connection here. I want to be just as strong as, or in the good graces of, or in the care of this person. So just to throw an arbitrary story on it, right? This could be like a troubled upbringing, and you know, kind of living under the thumb of someone in your close family. This could be like an extended family relative. This could be like a cousin. This could be a best friend. This could be, you know, somebody that you work with who is always so inspiring or is always so supportive, and there's the desire to be closer to this person, to possibly even tell this person what's going on here, because I feel this energy stands alone and the other 5 cards are very intertwined. Okay. Another way we could see this is that this strength card could actually be within the storyline, and strength, when it's in its low vibe, when someone or the energy itself is low vibe, is actually very controlling. It's actually a card of not restriction, but like fitting presentation, right? Behaving in a way that exemplifies strength, beauty, dominance and all that kind of stuff, but then also towing the line and not walking outside of those barriers, allowing the barriers to exist. How could I say that better? Allowing the barriers to exist. Okay, there it is. The traditional depiction of the strength card has a woman and a lion, and she's got her hand in the lion's mouth. She's like at the lion's mouth, and she's controlling this beast. The low vibe, the underside of that strength energy would be to let the animal, the wild beast, control the woman, to give into the fear that the woman would naturally have of this huge predator. You know, you put any one of us in a room with a lion, I'm pretty sure all of us are going to shit our pants and, you know, start saying our last prayers, because there's just this innate fear we have of a big predatory animal like that. The high vibe of the strength card in terms of tarot is to master that fear and work alongside the big beast of the big killer animal. The low vibe is to give into it, right? So there's something here about giving into, living under the thumb of, under the control of, right? To not have a handle on something. And that creates some type of barrier in some type of way. That's a little harder for me, if I'm honest, to really digest or really interpret for you guys. But that's also here. And it could be, you know, it's like a power move. It's like a power dynamic. Somebody could be like throwing their weight around. Okay. It could be something like, what is a lion known for? Its roar. It's known for that roar, you know, and like that's how it announces itself across, you know, the grasslands, right? It could be like that. You could be, this person or this energy could be about being very demonstrative, being very powerful and commanding, and that impact is overwhelming somebody, that they can't stand up to this person. They're all the more powerful, all the more louder, just possibly more loud in the physical, like their octaves are just like so much more than this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, you know? And it's like someone uses their ability to control or influence or impact in a sweeping way. Nobody can do anything unless I say so. Controlling. I did say that, I think. Is there anything else? Because confidence. Now, okay, that's the third way. I think we're going to get 3 ways. So the third way, this has nothing to do with any external person. This is a wish that this lady in the white dress has for herself. And again, I'm saying she, this could be a male I'm talking about. Finding the strength within to conquer whatever needs conquering. Because like I said, when in the traditional tarot, we see the woman and she's not wrestling, but she's controlling the lion at its mouth, at its one of its most dangerous places, right, on its body. So facing fears, facing demons perhaps, looking in the mirror, because I also get the sense like this is a mirror image. So looking in the mirror and getting real with yourself, being honest with self, not with other people, because I feel with other people there's all kinds of misconceptions or half truths going on, but with the self, owning it, having possibly praying for the strength to conquer those fixations or those obsessions and addictions, having calling on, praying for the strength to get out of these binding situations, this mental prison perhaps. So many ways we can read that, but we got to move on. Outcome for September, Virgo, is the Tower card. Secondary major for Scorpio, also sometimes associated with Aries. You could be dealing with either of those signs or not at all. Well, she wanted to get out of that house. There you go. That's a hell of a way to get out. Have the house destroyed. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not over here co-signing for people to destroy property. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm sensing here is an intervention, or maybe not an intervention, a major shakeup, a major change, a major blast to the foundations of a situation. Virgo, if you or anyone else was looking, if you were looking for things to stay the same, it's not going to happen. If you were looking for things to be calm and serene, not going to happen. If you were looking for things to sort of resolve themselves in a peaceful way, or in a way that wasn't overly distressing, not going to happen. This is major upheaval on a massive it doesn't have to be like all at once, and it doesn't have to be, so violent or crazy like a lightning strike to the tower. It doesn't have to be so explosive, but it is significant. The impact, the ripple effect is monumental, okay? I feel this could be a personal tower moment, meaning somebody changes their behavior, changes how they demonstrate. How they behave, how they show up in the world. It could be a circumstance that causes a person to change. There's something that happens, and it's like a flip of a switch. Like if I were to get up and turn the lights off in here, the screen that you're looking at would turn black. That's how drastically this is going to change. Or this change is going to appear. It's going to manifest. It's going to be a day and night situation. Flip of a light switch. I don't know that it's unexpected. Oh, they're like, yes. They're like, for some it's unexpected because of what we were talking about earlier with the Seven of Swords, and how a lot of this is happening and someone is unaware of it. Could be you, could be someone else, I don't know. So for some it is going to come as a shock. For others it's going to come honestly as a revelation, as a breath of fresh air. And that comes down to this being, your reading has a lot of different sides to it. I tried to address as many as I could. This is beyond a dynamic between two people. Like I said, third party situation. You've got 3 or more people involved, right? And everybody's going to feel a certain type of way about it. And if this is about a certain dynamic, a certain pairing, a certain partnership, you might have 2 people at the center. But like I said, you've got like 2 people over here. You've got 4 people over here. You've got even further out from that, from the tertiary standpoints, friends of friends and all that kind of stuff, who will hear about this. And they're all going to have their different interpretations of it. They're all going to have their different perspectives here. Regardless, the change is happening. It could be caused by somebody's personal decisions, whether they are, saying they're in agreement, but they're actually not, whether they are in agreement, but then suddenly they bail, whatever it is, could be caused by someone's specific actions. Or it's just, cosmic influence here. Or both. Could be both. Interesting. And the overall energy also right behind it, the Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. The overall energy, the Chariot. Major arcana for Cancer. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer, but you don't have to be. Yeah, man. Moving on. Now, I'm not saying this in a cavalier way, as in like Virgo or whoever's resonating with this message, get over it. I'm not saying it that way, but like this is necessary. Um, you know, I don't watch a lot of movies or shows like this. Like I'm getting like this Downton Abbey vibe. I'm getting like this high aristocratic energy. I mean, this deck in itself, like I said, really depicts that type of, not all the cards, but many of them depict like this, elitist type of way of life, right? And what I'm sensing here is like somebody leaves that behind. Whether they mean to, whether they want to, whether they initiated, whether it happens to them, they're kicked out, something like that. But this is like the last time this chauffeur is going to open up this door for this person. And that could be a joyous moment, that could be a very bittersweet moment, that could be it could go so many ways, but I feel like someone leaves behind this, I don't want to say privilege, because I don't know that it's about privilege, but somebody leaves behind what on its face, on paper, is supposed to be the perfect life. It's supposed to be this perfect ideal lifestyle. It's supposed to fulfill all these deeper wishes or wants, but like I said earlier about conditional versus unconditional, it's like, no, actually what I need is not here. What I need is somewhere else. And I'm leaving this behind. All of this. Virgo, I don't know if you're the one leaving. I don't know if someone else around you is leaving. I don't know where you are, but hopefully that made sense to you. Good luck to everybody in this situation, because this affects more than just one or two people. This affects a group of people, a friend circle, a family circle, a business, something like that. Anyway, Virgo, that is your reading, my gosh, for September. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to share how this resonated with you, please feel free to leave a comment. Please also share the video if you want other people to know what's going on over here. If you think there's a message for another person here, you can share it with them directly. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Virgo, I will be back very soon with your mid-monthly readings. Like I said at the beginning, September 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be here live on the channel answering questions for Virgos during the Virgo season. So if you want to get a question answered by me, join me again September 12th at 7 p.m., okay? And again, if you want a personal reading with me, the information is down below, all right? Virgo, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.